All right, hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Humbert here, and we're going to be doing our construction unit. So there are really only two notes you need to do with this, and we're doing it as this kind of video so I can show you actually how to use the compass and the ruler and so forth. So first of all, a construction is the same thing, is something that can be created with two tools. So we're going to be using two tools today. We're going to be using a ruler, you've seen those before, as well as a compass. So this is a compass right here. Okay, just a couple things with compass. If your pencil's sliding around, you can turn this little knob here and it really locks it in tight. I usually try and keep the ends of those pretty even. So what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a set of rules or directions. So we're going to be following algorithms to construct some things today. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. So what we're going to try to conduct first is we're going to try and construct a perpendicular bisector of a segment. So what we have first is our segment. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this over to the side here. Okay, so we want to construct. So step number one says to construct circle A containing B. So I need to construct a circle. So I'm putting the corner of my compass on A, and then my pencil is going to be on tip B. So now, in order for us to construct the circle, what I usually do is I hold the compass in place, and I actually just turn the page itself. To me, that's always been easier. So there's one of my circles. So step number two says to construct circle B. So now that means that B needs to be in the center. So I'm going to put my solid part on B, and then I'm going to put my pencil on A. And again, I'm going to slowly flip this around into a circle. So now I have this pretty much set up, and I want to construct my perpendicular bisector. So the first thing I want to do is label my points. So I want to label my points. This is point C, and this right here is point D. So what I want to do now, I do suggest doing all this in pencil as it's really easy to make mistakes. Step number four says to construct C and D. So I'm going to take my straight edge, my second tool, and I'm going to connect those 2 points and draw it up. And if you look really closely, that line is perpendicular. So this isn't going to be necessarily perfect, but I want you to do the best you can to make it look perpendicular. So let's take a look at our next kind here. So now we're conducting a perpendicular bisector through a point on a line. So we're trying to conduct a perpendicular point on this line. So we want to construct circle P containing X. So that means that P is the center of our circle. So the end of my compass needs to go on P, and if it contains X, I'm going to put my pencil on X. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to flip this circle around. Whoa, good job, Miss Humbert. It is easy to make mistakes, so that's why I do suggest doing it in pencil, which you can do with the compass, right? Because it's given to you in pencil. Okay, so then we're just going to kind of connect that there. Perfect. That did not go as well as I would have liked, but hey, we're not perfect, right? Okay, and it might even be easier too if you had more time than I do on the video to actually just retrace the circle if something like that happens. Now label the section intersection of circle P with the line Z. So this point here is going to be Z, and here is my X. Okay, so now we want to construct circle X containing point Z. So since X is my center, I put the metal part there, and I'm going to put my pencil mark on point Z. And now I want to make that circle, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Going all the way around there. So that worked out better for me, huh? So there's my circle Z. So now what I want to do is construct circle Z containing X. So I'm going to put the metal part on my center of my circle, which is Z, and then I'm going to put my pencil on X, and then I'm going to, again, flip my page around. So you're going to want to clear some space on your desk. And now I have my 2 circles drawn. Next, for step number 5, it says we need to label the intersections of X and Z points U and V. So here's point U and here's point V, and that's our intersection. So for number 6, we need to connect U and V. So we're going to connect that as a line. So U is going to connect with V, and hopefully it goes through point P. So now we've created a perpendicular bisector right here. Okay? So let's take a look at number 11. So number 11 is asking, or number 11, let's take a look at this last one here. So now we want to construct a perpendicular bisector through a point not on the line. Now I affectionately call this one the smiley face. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to construct circle H intersecting EF at 2 different points. So I'm going to make a smiley face. I want to pick what that point is. So I want it to connect about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a smiley face. So I'm going to put my metal part on the H, and then I just picked a spot on the line. And I'm just going to make a smiley face. So there's my smiley face right there. Okay, so now I want to label those points I and G. Okay, then it says construct circle I containing point G. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put, since I is my center, I'm going to put my pencil on I, and it's going to extend out to G. So now what I'm going to do is flip my paper around. Oop, I got stuck there, so that I can get those points. Okay, so now I have that circle there. Next thing I want to do is I want to label point G. So now to label, or I want to construct circle G. So now I'm going to put my metal tip on point G, and then my pencil, because we want on I, because we want the circle to contain point I. And now again, I'm going to draw my circle. Stay on G, pencil. See, it happens. Part of it is this stand has an end that I keep running into there. Okay, so that's not my best work of art there. So these should have technically connected, but I kind of ran into the stand there. So if that were to happen to you, I would erase it and start over. So now what we want to do is we want to write K and we want to write J. And now what we want to do is we want to connect J and K. Now, because I had an issue with the circle, it didn't end up through point H, and it should, okay? So if it doesn't, you'll have to fix it. So as I showed you here, this isn't going to be perfect. I want you guys just to do the best that you can with it. Okay, so have these algorithm steps out with you as you're working through your practice sheets, and then also be asking me questions. You will not be able to use these algorithms on your quiz, so you will need to know what to do. So make sure you're kind of practicing remembering, because you won't be able to use notes on your quiz. So that concludes your note video for today. Go ahead and show me a completed note sheet when you're done. Thanks for listening.